All right, my name is Cassie Chantel. I'm here with Orlando, and this is an episode of Mokah Speaks. And obviously, I'm not Mokah, so I'm filling in today. Orlando, yeah. Orlando, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and your family that's sitting there with you on the couch?
Yes, my name is Orlando Cepeda Watson. I go by Cepeda. For the most part, people in Athens call me Orlando because they can't pronounce Cepeda, but that's cool. But this is my friend Trayvon Bailey. He came here from Los Angeles, California. He's been here in Athens for about as long as I have. So we're just two regular dudes here in Athens trying to survive, and common people, working class people, struggling to make it.
So you say you came to Athens. So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Jackson County, which is approximately 14 miles north from here off 129. But it's interesting because I came here by way of Detroit, which I have family up in Detroit, Michigan. So I came here after like a 5-year stint of living in Detroit, Michigan, which I landed here homeless, which is I don't know if you want to go down that rabbit hole, but I ended up homeless after my father passed, squandered all my resources, and winded up here in Athens on the street. Did like almost maybe another 5-year stint on the street here. Found out about some of the resources here in Athens, got linked up with a subsidized housing and mental health services, and kind of through them was able to secure an apartment, job, this, that, and the third, and kind of got on my feet. But as time progresses, no one circumstance stays the same forever. So I've been having some challenges maintaining housing and my livelihood. But long story short, kind of hit a bump in the road here within the last few years or so, getting in trouble with law enforcement again and things of that nature. And with the high cost of goods and inflation right now, kind of been in a funk lately, for a lack of better words. So that's what landed me here. I ended up catching a shoplifting charge, a misdemeanor, which landed me here. Thank God y'all accept people who do who have that charge. I was able to do community service here and get my hours done. Hopefully get discharged this upcoming Friday. Yeah. So
nice.
yes.
And we're gonna go ahead, like you said, we're gonna speak that in existence.
All right.
It's already done.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Let's go back to the beginning, because you mentioned Detroit. Where did you actually grow up? Where did you spend your childhood?
I actually grew up in Jefferson. Jackson County is a huge county. Jackson County actually gave land to, no offense to Clark County Athenians, but we actually gave this town land. They gave this town land. I'm not saying me like I actually have a stake in that, but you know what I'm trying to say. So it's a huge county, but I grew up in the Jefferson area of that vicinity. Arcade, if anybody ever went through Arcade. Arcade's pretty famous. Used to be a club there back in the days, back in the late 90s, early 90s, called Pars. You know what I'm saying? There was also a club there called the Peach with all the, all the black people, went there and partied back in the early 90s, late 90s. Very popular club. So I grew up in that area.
So that's kind of country, right? Jefferson, that's pretty.
Yeah, you can consider it, what I'm saying, being, it was country. We take pride in that. Dragons, go Dragons, go Panthers.
So what kind of stuff did you do in your childhood growing up in that country lifestyle?
Right. Now this is the kicker right here, being that it's perceived as being so country. We were actually doing a lot of the same stuff that they do in major cities. Like me and my homeboy, Magestro Imes. Shout out to Magestro Imes. What up, homie? We were MCs, you know what I'm saying? I know you yourself also are an artist. We have that in common. But back during our time, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have a lot of the technology and advances that y'all had. We had to either, go through someone's studio or save money to have equipment of your own, which is was kind of the approach that we took. So we were very skilled lyricists, you know what I'm saying, growing up in our time. So we did a lot of, you know what I'm saying, writing rhymes, recording demos. You know what I'm saying? We even had a lot of shows that we did growing up as teenagers and young adults. You know what I'm saying? We never actually got the opportunity to get signed because, to my point, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't like New York or LA. It was like some record label right down the street where you could go, hey, listen to my demo. You know what I'm saying? We were in, like you said, the country. And I'm sure you've heard stories from artists like Master P and others who talks about how hard it was for the South to get on. So just imagine two little young kids in rural, bum freaking, you know, Mayberry, Jackson County, you know what I'm saying, Jefferson, trying to get on at that time. But we did meet a guy from New Jersey who had his foot halfway in the industry, who was trying to help us, but he was trying to change our image and our content and stuff that we rapped about. He actually wanted us to rap about cows and pastures and baling hay and stuff like that. We're like, whoa, wait a minute, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't live like that. We get gang banging out here too. We letting off shots. You know what I'm saying? We selling drugs. We doing all this stuff that y'all listening to. These other major cities are saying that they're doing. We're doing the same thing. We're just not getting the recognition and acknowledgement. So that's where I would say, you know what I'm saying, you know, what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know what I'm saying, I was heavily, you know what I'm saying, I was a pretty decent student too, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say I was just some troublemaker kid running amok in the streets, because I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I had both parents in my life growing up to a point before they got divorced, excuse me. And, you know what I'm saying, pretty stable upbringing, you know what I'm saying?
So what would you say your discipline was like with your parents?
My discipline with my parents, I would say my dad was pretty laid back. You know, he was a musician himself, which, you know, obviously rubbed off on me, you know what I'm saying? But he was pretty laid back, you know what I'm saying? He was in a band called the Upsetters, you know what I'm saying, before he had me. But when he had me, so the manager was kind of screwing him over or whatever, so he had to get a regular job to provide for me, you know, his family, my mom and my stepsister. So, you know what I'm saying, they were gone most of the time, you know, so I can recall me and sis being at home oftentimes by ourselves, and moms and pops off doing the 9-to-5 things, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, to provide for their family and put food on the table. But yeah, I mean, you know, I wasn't the discipline, you know, my mom was definitely probably more strict than he was, being, you know what I'm saying, the religious person of the family, which comes from her side, you know what I'm saying, which I also inherited and proud of. But, you know, yeah, I didn't get a lot of whoopings and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But they were very stringent about instilling in me God's principles and, you know what I'm saying, being aware there's a creator and showing and paying homage to him, you know what I'm saying? So I would say the discipline came more from that aspect, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to like getting, come here, boy, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get a switch, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really like that, but I seen, you know, I witnessed a lot of that too, and I did have friends that I hung with that would, you know what I'm saying, get that kind of treatment, and I got it too if I was with them and doing bad. Right.
So you grew up with really both of your parents, and your dad was creative, you were creative, you was making music. When did your first like interaction come in with law enforcement? Like, how did that start to happen?
I would say my first probably real bad experience, you know what I'm saying, I would say with law enforcement probably came about when we were probably in our late teens. I was probably like 18 or 19, you know what I'm saying? And I remember it pretty vivid. We were at a Jefferson basketball game, and these officers out of the blue just randomly singled us out to do a breathalyzer test. Now mind you, this is a basketball game where the halls, you know what I'm saying, are filled with people and excitement, and people are having fun, laughing, joking, playing around. And out of all these probably hundreds of people that are in this location, we get singled out to have a breathalyzer. So obviously it made us feel, you know, a kind of way. we showed some resistance, and to the officers, chagrin and dislike, they kind of got a little aggressive with us and roughed us up, and a fight ensued where blows, we actually swung on them. They tried to detain us, put us in cuffs, which they eventually did, but that was a very, explosive encounter to have with police, first bad experience.
You like 18, 19?
Yes. 18, maybe going on 19.
So how did that make you feel like after that interaction with law enforcement? How did you feel about law enforcement moving forward?
As we're alluding to, being, part of, the hip hop culture and movement, I'll say around the time, NWA had that hit. We all know what it is. Avid fans, listeners of this kind of music. Like I said, we're living a lot of that same kind of lifestyle now, and now getting to experience firsthand, oh, that's what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just out there, it's here too. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely awakened us to like the brutality of, police sheer brute force, and how surreal it is, you know what I mean? And that, it was like, wow, it was breathtaking to say the least. But
after that, how soon was your next run-in with the law? Like, was that situation the first of many, or how did life start to go after that one incident?
I would say, probably was no different than any other young black male or, black youth growing up in the inner city or, from disenfranchised, marginalized, areas or whatever. We had a lot of those same experiences, mine personally. I would say I've had many. I can recall one probably later on down the line. I was a little older. I remember I was with a white homeboy of mine, Brandon Williams. What up? And we was hanging out. It was around my birthday. We had been drinking. I will be honest. And he was actually driving. We was in his vehicle. And we were headed either to Statham, driving through Arcade, and this road police officer, it's not painting police with a broad stroke. Law enforcement don't give me no crap. I'm just keeping it real. Having to pull us over for some petty, maybe his tail light was not cracked or something. It was something simple. And he pulled us over, and his attention, automatically, went from him to that. The reason he stopped us to me, and he started questioning me and asking me, did I have any ID on me, anything illegal like weapons or drugs, da-da-da-da. So we all know how this story ends. Thank God it didn't end, for me in that case, in that instance, the way it could have went. But, I was a little, I was in disarray, a little confused, We had been drinking, I'll be honest. And I was going to reach for the 40 bottle that I stashed under my homeboy's seat. Just, trying to be honest and show him, yeah, I do have a crack 40, under here. Can I show? And I reached for it mistakenly, not knowing, that could have got my brains blew all over the windshield. And I reached for it, and the officer drew down on me. He was like, hey, man, freeze. I was like, whoa. And mind you, I'm a little kid still. I'm probably barely 19, 20, no older than 20. I think I was probably 21. Yes, that was my 21st, my birthday. So, having to have that happen where this officer draws down on me, pulls his weapon out, because I'm actually trying to show him that I just have a beer bottle that I drink out of, was very harrowing, to say the least. And that experience, even that whole night after he eventually ended up letting us go, thank God, went on about our business. There was no charges, no apprehension. That whole rest of the evening, I just I could see like I told you, I'm a very visual person. I could see visuals of my brains like oozing out of my corner of my head, the way if it would have went, south like it really could have. I was like, whoa, and I knew right then, just reinforce my wariness of certain police officers and how dangerous an encounter with them can be at the, you know what I'm saying, the millisecond. You know what I'm saying? Just anything, the wrong movements, you know, taking on the wrong intonation, you know what I'm saying, not keeping your hands where they can see them. Anything like that can get you really, really hurt up out here. You know what I'm saying? If you're not careful.
Yeah, I can see you're very visual. I can see you processing it in real time, your body language and everything. So let's fast forward to now. You're currently doing probation here at Athens Anti-Discrimination Movement. So tell us about your experience, and if you don't mind, like sharing what you're on probation now for.
Right. So basically, I'm on probation for a little petty misdemeanor. I won't say what it is specifically, but it's just a misdemeanor, nothing that serious. Something that probably we all know, you know what I'm saying, if I had a lighter skin pigmentation, you know what I'm saying, privileged class person, probably would have been thrown out anyway. But I caught the charge in Oconee County, and I'm pretty sure a person of my caliber, they definitely wanted to make an example out of. So I was given a year on probation, over a $1,400 fine, you know what I'm saying, not including the lawyer and court costs and other fees included with that. And it was a pretty lengthy fine. They ended up eventually cutting it down some. They kind of saw like, well, this dude, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't that prompt to like pay it like right off, you know what I'm saying, which I did pay down on it. But they had to kind of cut it down some. And basically, Oconee County is a different kind of monster, man. They're very stringent, especially with, I can tell, the brothers and, you know what I'm saying, people of color and minorities up there, you know what I'm saying, they kind of get a different kind of treatment. And me sitting in some of the court hearings, I got to witness that firsthand. Obviously, I'm sure they would deny that, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, one of the probation officers even told the judge when they had a hearing, they had to bring me back before the judge for some stuff, you know what I'm saying, I kind of got behind on my probation, and the community service hours weren't accumulating fast enough, and we had a few conversations where I had some outbursts of anger with the probation officer just for me just speaking up and advocating for myself, and that alone was kind of a threat to them. The probation officer went so far as to tell the judge that she never met somebody like me before. Like, I was just like, he's, you know what I'm saying, I forget the exact language she used. Right. It was like, you know what I'm saying, she was so taken aback by somebody like me, you know what I'm saying, speaking up for themselves. So I just say, young people, don't get in trouble in Oconee County, you know what I'm saying? It's something else, you know. But it's been a blessing, you know what I'm saying, being able to get linked up with y'all. Shout out to my public defender, Marnie Carter, who hooked all this up. You know what I'm saying? All the other places, nonprofit, they would not accept a person with my charge. So I was blessed to be able to come here and do it, and y'all accept people with my charge. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully I will get discharged this upcoming, by the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? I have a meeting with my officer, and I'm supposed to have the hours that I'm supposed to have, and hopefully I can move on. So if that answers your question.
Yeah, so they say that you were like outspoken. That's kind of a compliment. I would take that as a compliment of a probation.
Yeah. Maybe it was, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know what I'm saying, what does that say about, you know what I'm saying, Oconee County, that, you know what I'm saying, they need more. Y'all need to come outside more, Oconee County. Y'all need to come outside more, because you think I'm outspoken, like this guy right here, you know what I'm saying, and even yourself, and you know, we're out here, we're outside, and the world needs to, you know what I'm saying, get acclimated to people like us.
So how important would you say it is to share your story to the next person?
You know, I would hope that, you know what I'm saying, somebody can benefit and be encouraged by my story, you know what I'm saying, even if it's nothing more than letting you know that you're not alone, you know what I'm saying. I'm 47 years old. I'm not ashamed to say it, you know what I'm saying, I'm still fly, you heard? I'm still going through a lot of the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, younger black youth go through, you know what I'm saying, like the targeting, the stereotyping, you know what I'm saying, da-da-da-da, you know, so, you know, you're not alone, you know what I'm saying, and as long as you're black in this country, you know what I'm saying, we will always, you know what I'm saying, face these kinds of struggles, you know what I'm saying, we just gotta be more united, you know what I'm saying, and be more supportive of one another, you know what I'm saying, stop letting them divide us, you know what I'm saying, but, yeah, definitely, I think my story could benefit people that are, you know, have, you know, are on probation or just struggling with life in general, trying to make ends meet, keep a roof over your head, you know what I'm saying? If you got kids, provide for them, you know what I'm saying? Just be a solid example for our young ones and, you know, even the elders and others who, you know what I'm saying, are having a difficult time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the most, well, how would I say it? You know what I'm saying? I know that I have influence. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put myself on a pedestal, but I know that, you know what I'm saying, I carry a lot of weight in certain individuals' lives, and I'm thankful for that, and I'm here for them.
Well, I will say it's been a blessing for me to talk to you today. I appreciate you sharing your story just in this conversation with me. I can say that I got a lot from it. The last thing before we wrap up here today, what advice would you give yourself, your 18-year-old self, now, today, if you had a chance to go back and talk to him?
Probably, you know, being that I've been blessed with, you know what I'm saying, have ran through so much money in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do a low flex, nothing like that. Like I've had millions, and I'm sure I ran through millions. You know what I'm saying? No question. But in that sense, I would say I would probably, you know, be a better budgeter of money. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of opportunities. I had a big opportunity that I missed after my pops passed, where I shouldn't have even landed homeless, you know what I'm saying, where I failed to pay off, you know what I'm saying, the balance of, you know what I'm saying, him and my mom's home, which I should have, and, you know what I'm saying, fixed the home up and probably rented out some rooms or just, you know, lived off the interest that I could have accrued from certain investments like that, you know what I'm saying. You know, so just being more financial literate, which is a big thing right now, I think, with our people, you know what I'm saying? Financial literacy is important. And I'm not even a lover of riches and wealth, but I'm saying this. So I would definitely tell myself that and just be more, you know what I'm saying, astute about the way I move and certain people I keep around me and things of that nature. You know what I mean? That makes a difference on how far you can go in life. You got the right kind of people backing and supporting you and the right energy in your favor, you know. And definitely keep God in your life, you know what I'm saying. Try to keep him first. So I know that's easier said than done, but definitely keep your creator on your team. You heard? So, yes.
Yeah, well, thank you again. This has been an episode of Mokah Speaks, and I am Cassie Chantel. Got Orlando here.
Shit.
Yeah, signing off.